Of course, darling, how are you? Of course, you know we're gonna make some things here. Of course, we're gonna make them right. You're gonna take every swan out from here. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That they are all after us, but we know what we want. Of course, darling, you want. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That is what we're gonna have here. That no one can against us. Of course, darling, we're riding with a car and no one can against us. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that they wanna shoot us. Of course, darling, we're in the front. Of course, darling, we are where no one can. Of course, darling, we're over them. Of course, darling, they see us from behind. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. Of course, darling, they are the whole time bringing swans here, but they can't. Of course, darling, you know what we want. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that no one can against us. Of course, darling, I'm gonna draw you. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that no one can against us, that they are all after us, but they can't. We know how to move. Of course, darling, let's give me a kiss. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. Of course, darling, you want something to blow. Of course, darling, take our kid. Of course, it's gonna blow the whole swans. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that no one can against us. Of course, darling, I need some cover up for him. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that no one can against us. Of course, darling. Of course, darling, let me draw you a little bit. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. Of course, darling, we're gonna shoot with our gun. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that no one can against us. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that there are many swans here. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. Of course, darling, they want that you kick them and then feel bad for that. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that is what they want. They want that you kick them and then play the role of an opossum. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. So they are, of course, darling, that is what you can see. So let's bring some swans here. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that we have XHV and no swans, and we're gonna blow everything. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that is what you can see. They want to throw us to the mat. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, but we're gonna shake. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, we're gonna shake our ass. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that they are all here. That is what you can see, and they want to shoot us. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. They wanna throw us in the mat, but they can't. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That is what you can have here. That now the mountain is mine. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that no one can against me. That the mountain is mine now, that I'm on the top of the mountain. Of course, because I'm shot was. Of course, darling, you know that. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that I'm on the top of the mountain now. Of course, darling, and you know you are mine. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that no one can against me. That I'm on the top of the mountain, and we're gonna shake our ass if you want to throw us to the mat. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. Of course, darling, you know it jokes on me. Of course, darling, you know I have the $100 gold, silver, platinum, cash money. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, that it jokes on me and everyone knows it. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. So is it here. Of course, darling, that is what you can see, and now we are gonna shake our ass in the top of the mountain if they want to throw us to the mat. Of course, that is what you can see. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That they are here. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That we are on the top of the mountain. Of course, and they want to shoot us, but they can't. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That no one can against us. Of course, darling, they are bringing many swans to us to hurt us. Of course, darling, but we are gonna blow them. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. You want a bomb, you're gonna have a bomb. And of course, darling, that is what you can see. That we are gonna blow the swans and not there. We are gonna give them what they want. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That no one can against us. Of course, darling, we are gonna shoot with our XHV gun. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That we are gonna ride with the cars and that no one can against us. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That no one can against us. That we know how to move. That no one can with us. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That no one can against us and that we are gonna move where they want to be. Of course, darling, but they can't. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That if they want to drown us in the mud, we are gonna shake our ass. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That no one can against us. That we're gonna blow this once. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. And now we are gonna shoot with our XHV gun. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. We're gonna make some cover up for me, boy. Of course, boy. That is what you can see. That we're gonna cover him. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. We need some backup. Of course, darling. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That we are here, that we are riding with the cars, that we are gonna let them all after us. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That we are gonna blow these ones and we are gonna give them what they want. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That they are all after us, but they can't. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That they are all haunting us. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. They all want to come inside our home and blow us. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That is what you can have. That we're gonna blow the whole swans and we're gonna give them what they want. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That we're gonna run with the cars and we're gonna ride and we're gonna let them all behind. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. And if they want to drown us in the mud, the top of the mountain is mine now. Of course, because I'm shot was. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That we are on the top of the mountain now. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. And if the bats want to come in, we're gonna shake our ass. Of course, darling, that's what you can see. If they want to come in, we are gonna shake our ass. Of course, if they want to drown us in the mud, we're gonna shake. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. That we have here our no swans. We're gonna blow the whole swans and we're gonna give them what they want. Of course, darling, that's what you can see. That no one can against us. Of course, darling, that's what you can see. That no one can against us. That we're gonna shake our ass. Of course, darling, that's what you can see. That we're in the top of the mountain now. Of course, darling, because I'm shot glass. Of course, darling, we have them. You know it jokes on me. Of course, darling, that is what you can see. Give me some backup. Of course, darling.